Hello friends, that's all anyone is talking about. For the past 24 hours, Oracle has laid off 30,000 people worldwide. People in Europe and in France are affected as well. We don't know the exact number. We're hearing 18,000, 20,000, 25,000, 30,000, quite simply because they haven't communicated, that's all. Some people in the morning at 6 a.m. received an email telling them, today is your last day of work. It's not even signed. It's literally an anonymous email. It just says Leadership Oracle. That's it. Facebook and LinkedIn forums are full of horror stories from people who had been there for 10, 20, 30, even 40 years. For some people, some were about to retire, others were just on the verge of retirement. I have 2 years left until retirement. I have cancer, I lose my job, and then I don't have health insurance because in many countries, health insurance is tied to employment. So as soon as you lose your job, you lose it as well because they terminate the health insurance contract and immediately medical care is no longer covered. Unspeakable horror stories, my friends. There are people who were abroad, people who were traveling abroad, and they find out directly that they've been fired. Their access is blocked, the computer stops working, the company phone shuts down, as well as the company bank card. While they were traveling abroad for the company, some people had immigrated, changed countries, because they were told, yes, we're going to place you somewhere else. They took their families, they took their children out of school, they left, they spent money, all of that, and suddenly, bam, it's over, goodbye, it's finished. What can I tell you about that? Having experienced this kind of thing, I would like to share with you a number of points or pieces of advice from my own experience, from my own observations. First, I wanted to talk to you. If you are in a situation where you feel that you have lost your job or you are going to lose it, look at the channel partner. Look, I'm giving you the link. It's mailyourjob.com. They have a tool that I tried myself, which is excellent for finding jobs that are not necessarily posted. People ask me, does it cover internships? Yes, it covers internships. It also covers work-study programs. So it's an extremely powerful tool. And honestly, in the age of AI, because they use AI to reformat the Times, a real-time resume, depending on who they're sending it to, you can choose for them to reformat it to include a certain number of things. They don't create the resume for you, but they improve it so it passes a certain number of automated filters. Anyway, today, recruitment is a bot talking to a bot. While you're at it, don't miss out on this tool. I'll send you the link, get 50% off your first month, but it's not just about the discount. I think the tool is essential nowadays. Anyway, let's get back to our story. You know, what they did is they bet everything on what they call artificial intelligence. So they're building data centers like crazy. Why? It's a complete mystery. Why? Because we have data centers that are being built. We don't even know how we're going to power them because the energy equation isn't even solved because it consumes a huge amount. Secondly, we're going to put computers in there, servers with memory, graphics cards, and everything that haven't even been sourced yet, haven't even been manufactured yet. We're going to sell these services to clients who haven't even been defined yet. You should know that most people don't pay for AI. Even OpenAI loses billions every year. It's a company that's currently operating at a loss. Out of 100 clients, only 5 actually pay, and even if 60 or 70 clients paid, it still wouldn't be enough. Compared to the expenses that are being incurred, the company is extremely in debt with billions in liabilities. It depends on the calculation. You could see anywhere from 50 to 150 billion. They've lost half of their market capitalization since October. So literally, in just a few months, a company like Oracle, which was trading at over $300 in October, September, today it's below $150. You see, it's not even crypto. So we would have understood if it was crypto, you know, saying, yeah, it's super volatile and all, but a stock from a company with 160,000 people being this volatile, losing that many percent in just a few months. I mean, they're betting their existence on this AI gamble. Either it works, and at that point, they'll become the holders of the artificial intelligence data centers, and no one will be able to do AI without going through them. That's the good news. That's the positive outcome. If it fails, their bet is irrelevant. Oracle won't exist in the future. So as I was saying, they laid people off and the stock went up, which means the markets rewarded what Oracle did. So when I talk to you, I often tell you it's a war. I tell you, There's a power struggle. There's a relationship of oppression. There's a relationship of domination that we don't have in the company. We're not one big family. That it's not a neutral tool. It's a tool of extraction that's there to crush you, all of that. I think about these kinds of things. The shareholders applauded what Oracle did. 30,000 people out of work. And we even think that because from that point on, we're working based on rumors. We think that people say that. We think that in a month or two, there will be another round of layoffs and we don't know how many people will be affected. I myself was laid off under similar circumstances and it's pretty awful psychologically. I mean, there are people, I'm telling you, look, for example, one guy had been with the company for 29 years. Suddenly, his access is blocked. He no longer knows what's happening. He writes to his supervisor and asks what's going on. And the supervisor replies, after 29 years of, we're a family, we work together, we're a team. He receives a text message that says, read your emails. That's all it says to him. Not another word is wasted on him. Just to tell you, just to let you know, these companies, whether it's Oracle or another, it's always the same story. They use people and then they do as they please. And then the day they don't need them anymore, well, they throw them away. Just like a tissue, used and tossed aside. I don't need you anymore, so leave, get out of my life. When they need people again, they'll bring them back. I told you, it happened to me too. Especially in the United Kingdom, don't become like them, my friends, because it's truly a country with no protection. I remember we got laid off. I knew it was coming. I knew because for a while I was hearing rumors and I saw people disappearing. We had an internal chat, Slack, and regularly I saw people disappearing. And then when you go out front, when you talk in front of the coffee machine or elsewhere, people tell you, yeah, so-and-so, well, I saw him leave crying, or so-and-so got fired, all that. Your turn will come, and then mine did. There it was, the famous email, the meeting, surprised the human resources lady who this time isn't smiling anymore. You see, and then in 5 minutes, they tell you that you're out, that it's your last day of work. And then that's it. You finish the call with them, you finish the meeting, Zoom or whatever. Literally, you're thinking, but I was like that. I assure you, I felt like I'd been hit by a train, even though I have no illusions about the working world. I'm a strong person, but I still felt like I'd been hit by a high-speed train. And you know what? Literally, while I'm wondering what's going on, suddenly on my windows, a window pops up and it says, your session is about to be disconnected. And actually what's happening is that remotely, they're already disconnecting your session. Erase everything, erase your existence, erase chats, emails, your access, your badge is done. All of that, everything ends, everything is blocked, finished. The rest of the communication will be done with your personal email. That's why they always ask you for your personal email, because afterwards you get a letter from their lawyer or human resources or someone else. You get a letter, that's it. You go on DocuSign, you read it, you click, you sign, you don't have a choice. Anyway, it's gibberish. It's 50 pages of legal gibberish and all that. You click, they give you a little bit of money. So it depends. At Oracle, some people got it, so it depends on the country. Some people got 15 days up until mid-April of payment. Others got 6 months, but no more than 6 months. The highest numbers I've seen was 6 months. Someone who's been there for 30 years, they're told, well, here you go, you get 6 months of salary, you're out, goodbye. It's completely, unfortunately, the brutality, if you will, of the power of money. It's always the same story in these situations. And that's why I'm telling you something, my friends, very important. Don't wait. If you feel it, there are signs, there are very important signs. If your company is having problems, for example, you see that the stock price is collapsing, I can make a video specifically about that. What are signs you may get fired individually or collectively? I'll quickly share a few points. You feel that your company is part of a bubble, like there's a bubble, there are massive investments, there's debt, all of that doesn't make sense. You see that financial analysts are starting to have doubts about the company's health or its management or something else. You see that the stock price is plummeting, you see that hiring has been frozen, you hear that the company is getting more and more into debt. There are objective factors that maybe taken individually don't mean anything, but if you add them up, they point in a very clear direction. This company is going to lay people off, this company might potentially shut down, this company is going to implement what we call redundancy plans. But the term redundancy plan, I like the word redundancy plan in France, you see, it's a euphemism, redundancy plan, like passenger incident at SNCF. The thing about redundancy plans is that they exist in France because there are still, but they're in the process of being dismantled. Let's not kid ourselves, there's still some form of protection, but in many countries like the United States, the United Kingdom, there's no redundancy plan, nothing at all. You just get kicked out, that's it. There's no backup plan. We're not here for that. We're not a social service. In the company, you take your things, you leave, your badge is blocked, and the security guy will come to escort you because you're an outsider. Actually, because sometimes when they fire you in the company's offices, you become an outsider. Suddenly, you become a person. You become an intruder in the department. You've been there for 20 years. The moment they click to terminate you, as they say, once they terminate you, you suddenly become an outsider. You have nothing to do in the department, so they bring in security to escort you since you're considered an anomaly. You're there, you don't even have a badge, your badge isn't valid, you're not an employee, you're a former employee, everything has been erased, you don't even have the right to be there, so that's it, you didn't break in, but still, you're not coming back, right? So what do? They bring in a security guy, he comes to escort you to the door, and they're being nice. They give you 3 minutes to gather your things. You grab, I don't know, if you have a photo of your dog, your child, if you have keys lying around, a box of aspirin, all that, you grab it quickly, that's it, and then you leave. That's all, without talking to anyone. It's over. They don't know you anymore. You see, that's the brutality of the corporate world. And that's what I'm fighting against and what we have to fight against. It's very important. I would like when you watch this video, when you watch this news, I want you to develop a very strong class consciousness that them and us, it's not the same thing. Our interests, theirs, it's not the same thing. Our interests are not aligned. Our lives are not aligned. It's very important for you to be able to defend your interests. I don't want to hear people on this channel telling me, yes, I quit my job with my employer, but I feel bad for them because I was involved in important projects for them and everything. I feel like I'm betraying them, letting them down. I don't want to hear that kind of talk, my friends, really, because they just throw you out. The guy has cancer and they finish him off, as they say. They throw him out. They stop his health insurance. Goodbye, a kick in the butt, you're on your own. You see people who built the company, who built the products, and they just get thrown out. Not even a conversation, personalized or anything, just mass emails. You leave, it's an algorithm that decides you're out. So that's why you really have to learn to defend your interests. If you think the company is struggling, please just leave instead of waiting to be fired. Let me tell you something. Imagine you're working at Oracle. If you leave on your own by yourself, you choose the timing, you leave, you find another job somewhere else, it's easy. If you wait until you get fired. With 30,000 people, well, it's going to be very hard because your colleagues will now become your competition. Because they're going to look just like you. Wherever you're looking, they're going to look wherever there's a job posting. They're also going to apply, you see, just like you. Another thing that's going to happen is that the whole world has heard the news that Oracle laid off 30,000 people. So the whole world knows that people who work at Oracle, when they see Oracle on your resume, they know you're struggling, they know you just got laid off and that you have to look for a job. What are they going to do with that? They'll use it against you. Remember, we're always at war with the corporate world. They'll take advantage of it, just like the police say. Everything you say can be used against you. Everything we know about you can be used against you. So if we know that, for example, the company fired 30,000 people, we know they're desperate, and simply we'll spread the word, be careful, when they come, go ahead and lower the salary range because they have no choice. Anyway, there are many of them on the market. Just crush them, go ahead, offer half price, that's it. Okay, so that's why you need to leave as soon as possible if you have to go look for a job. Remember the partner of this channel, mailyourjob.com. They have their plugins, their features called Candy Boost, which is really good. You upload your resume, you search by region, job type, all that, and go ahead. It's like a jackhammer. Use it very gently. Go ahead. Don't send it everywhere. Don't send it to all of France. So go ahead, take it easy, use it gently, and you'll see it's going to work. Thank you, my friends, for listening to this video until now, and we'll see each other in the next one. Good luck if you are affected by the Oracle story.